What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here, back with more Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. This is our Rise of the Forsaken campaign. This is, of course, Warhammer Fantasy 4th Edition. I am joined by 2/3 of the Unfortunate Fellowship today. I, of course, will be your DM, your GM for tonight, Mr. Jumbo Thick. And I have with me Jumbo Smooth and Pierce Galactic. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, Doobie 209, the player had a child. Seamus did not. And he could not be here for this session. But, yeah, the two of you, if you want to go ahead and briefly introduce yourselves for anybody that might be new.
Hello, everyone. I am Jumbo Smooth. I'll be playing the role of Marius Wolf this evening. I am a former miner, current pit fighter. Mm-hmm. Small statured man, about 5'9", I think.
It's true. Very small.
Around there. 5'8", sorry. Gray hair, blue eyes. Just a poor peasant, trying to work his way up in this crazy world, currently on an adventure with Briding and Seamus, and now I find myself without a neck, laying on the cold stone floor of this ancient tomb.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, indeed. How about Mr. Galactic?
This is Pierce Galactic. Once again, I will be playing the role of Bragadin Bano, Bragadin the Bold, Bragadin the Vampire Slayer. I am Bragadin who has been really living up to his Bretonian nobility, trying to be almost a knight, trying to impress Sir Tristan.
Oh, God.
Trying to save his dear beloved sister, and I believe he is Bragadin the last man standing as we speak.
Currently, the last player standing, at least.
Yeah.
Last player standing.
For sure.
Tristan is untouched. And...
Tristan DeVries is he's still there, but regardless,
he's looking good.
A recap on what happened last time, because a lot transpired. After in your pursuit of your sister, Bragadin, Lady Emma, who was taken from her wedding her prospect of a wedding during a grand tournament by Sir Mihail Freeze, a vampire of some great power, as it turns out, accompanied by a necromancer and a full contingent of vampiric knights and different and terrifying versions of the undead. You pursued this monster with the aid of a Grail Knight, a holy beacon of the Lady Tristan DeVries, who was accompanied by a cohort of Grail pilgrims that follow him around wherever he goes, worshiping him, and a few of your local men-at-arms from your Bano household. You, of course, if you weren't going to do this task on your own, were instructed by your brother, Gerard, to go fetch her if you could. In your pursuit, the three of you, Seamus included, ended up staying at a tower at the edge of the Bano territory, a waypoint, as it was, in between where your final destination would be. Not that you would know it at the time. This tower was assaulted, and a foul ambush was set upon the party, and Seamus McCready was snatched away by a massive Vargheist. You pursued Seamus, and thus leading you to the Black Barrows, your ultimate goal to find Emma and perhaps take vengeance upon Mihail Freeze. Upon entering, you were assailed by ghouls, as apparently the outside area around these barrows is chock full of these cannibalistic former people, and this is your prime hunting ground. Barely making it inside, Seamus McCready broke free of his cell and secured his equipment, and within a few moments, the three of you were once again reunited. after a a brief incursion from a ill-fated Vargolf, that hallowed be his name, they slew him very quickly, burned him to death. It was traumatizing for the DM. But besides that, you made contact with your party. You managed to keep most people together. Most of them were alive. And found a set of hidden stairs that led down deep into a crypt. And turns out this was a very vast cavern. Mostly natural. Some of it looked like it had been worked, but regardless, in this cavern, it appears some ritual was taking place as Lady Emma Bonneau was upon an altar, a stone altar, a slab, with her hands crossed across her chest, clutching the shield, the family heirloom of the Bonneau household, over her chest. On the four corners of this altar were 4 men-at-arms, each of them having their throat slit throughout this ritual, and their blood spilling across Emma and the shield itself. If you will remember, some ethereal wraith-like almost beings began to rise from the four corners of this altar as well. There was a full contingent of grave guard protecting the altar itself, as well as 4 vampiric knights, many crypt ghouls, and several crypt horrors, foul creatures much larger than their smaller cousins. There was also Sir Mihail Freeze, the necromancer Gaston, and some unknown elder vampire sitting upon a throne. Bragadine boldly shouted out a challenge to save Emma, letting his presence and that of his companions be known as you all charged forward to cut a path to Lady Emma. A vicious fight unfolded. Several people went down, including Seamus and Marius Wolf, as well as several Grail pilgrims, and one of the men-at-arms fell to the undead contingent. But not before you slew the necromancer Gaston as well. Bragadine managed to pierce the back of the elder vampire with a holy stake that he happened to be given oh so long ago by his uncle as a former artifact that was reclaimed from a possible witch hunter that may have passed through these parts some time past. Upon stabbing this creature with this weapon, it locked up and appeared to burn most of its flesh from its backside and just went limp onto the ground. However, Sir Mihail Freeze had cut a bloody path through the remaining standing victorious mortals, only to be laid low by Bragadine the Bold, as he deftly pierced the man's side up into his brain pan, and he went limp next to the altar. Everything was looking good, very positive. I will note that Emma is currently chained. She has shackles around her wrists and her ankles, and they are chained to the four corners of this altar. The wraith-like ethereal specters that were upon the altar faded away with the death of the necromancer Gaston, with Marius's axe splitting his skull in two. There was a rumble out behind the altar itself, however, as in this cavern, which is a vast cavern, Bragadine, where you're standing and where Sir Tristan d'Avry is also standing by you, the cavern falls off about 5-10 feet past the altar itself and falls into nothingness. It's so dark and so vast, it just looks like it falls into the empty. but you saw a stirring deep in the darkness. The flickering blue balefire illuminating a shape, a clawed hand, then a face. Massive, huge scales, claws the size of pikes, if not larger than that. Teeth as long as your torso, and eyes white and almost dead looking, as if they've never seen the light of day. Or maybe this creature's already expired. It opened its mouth, and this vast dragon began to breathe outward a deep fire inside of its throat that quickly became almost a noxious-looking fumes of gas began to expel from its mouth. And that's where we left off. Unless there's anything important I may have missed that you guys can think of.
I think that's it.
I think that, yeah.
All right.
Did we cover Seamus's transformation?
I did not. Yes, Seamus, in fact, after being stabbed in the back with his own sword, was saturated with death-like energy and went full wraith. And it was very interesting to behold, though he quickly fell to the hands of Michal Freeze afterwards, after he went in for a strike with his sword and could not pierce the thick plate armor of the vampire knight, and then was laid low himself. But that brings us to our current predicament, as Marius Wolf is currently unconscious below the altar. There are heaps of dead graveguard, just vacant, just laying about the bottom of the altar. The entire bottom of this cavern is soaked with new and old blood. There are creatures dismembered where a grenade exploded at one point, and it is a literal hell, as it was. There are currently, Bragadine, yourself, and Tristan DeVries on the altar. The Grail Knight is staring out at the large creature that is currently moving. What do you do, Bragadine?
Okay, so Emma's on the altar right there. She's unconscious with the shield on her, and then Marius is also unconscious, wounded. I mean, he looks pretty bad, if I remember.
Down
at the
it
foot
would
of the altar.
depend, and this is the thing. It would depend on if you were paying attention enough. You don't see him standing. I don't necessarily think you would be able to see his body without like a perception test. If you wanted to make that your action, we're technically in a skill challenge right now. You're out of combat. But a lot hinges on Bragadine's next couple actions, so you would not necessarily see where Marius Wolf is in this moment. There's just so many bodies, is what I'm getting at. There's bodies everywhere.
Oh, Emma, I must get you out there. Where is Marius? I need him to help me carry her. And I would like to do a perception check to see if I can find Marius.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception test.
Ooh, good. 15 out of 61.
All right.
That's 4 levels.
4 levels of success. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bragadine, you begin to glance around, and you do see the unconscious body of Marius Wolf, and then further back past him, you see the pierced and bloody sack of human flesh that is or was Seamus McCready as well. You do see a single man-at-arms that is staggering towards the altar, and 3 of these Grail pilgrims that are beginning to gather towards the steps leading up. Also, Bragadine, with that perception test, you do feel a bit unnerved by the massive creature behind you. Now that you've turned your back on it, looking outwards towards towards Marius and Emma herself. And something just catches your eye, Bragadine, and you glance back over your shoulder and you notice that a huge clawed talon, a paw, as it was, a hand of this dragon is reaching out towards you and Tristan. And you notice, Bragadine, it has a massive, gargantuan shackle upon its wrist. The metal is thick, several feet thick, and it has strange markings etched into it. The shackle is completely devoid of any color, any pigment. It's strange. It looks almost black, but at the same time it doesn't. It's a strange metal, whatever it is. And there's large chains that lead further into the darkness. You can't see their origin point. But the symbols etched onto the shackle itself, they look oddly familiar, Bragadine. And they look... they just look familiar. And currently, some of them are glowing with a red glow, and then some of them aren't. And that's what you see.
Okay. So I guess I just make another, so at this point, you there, men, help me over here. And I actually run to Marius. I was shouting at the remaining pilgrims and the man-at-arms, but I run over to Marius.
Okay.
And
well, as you're beginning to move, so you are moving off of the altar, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to move to get down to Marius as you shout out towards the pilgrims and your single man-at-arms who kind of looks up at you expectingly. As you begin to move, you hear a rumbling from behind you, Bragadine. And you glance over your shoulder and you see the creature whose head is fully illuminated now as it is getting eerily close. Open its jaws wide. Sir Tristan takes his shield and ducks down behind it as it stretches open this massive gaping maw, and you see fire dancing around the back of its throat. And it exhales in a violent burst. And as it does, the flames get but a foot or two from its mouth and begin to condense and shift into this noxious plume that is flying towards everyone. You look on with abject horror, Bragadine. The cloud is getting closer and closer. And just when it looks like it's about to hit Sir Tristan, as you see him flinch and hold backwards, the plume, almost like it hit an invisible wall, smacks in front of Sir Tristan and then spreads outward along all the edges as if there were some kind of barrier present.
You men, stop standing there. Get some spine. Go up there and grab that lady. Grab my sister. And bring her with me.
Go ahead. You can either intimidation or charm, Bragadine. You make your choice.
I was hoping a leadership role on that. Or charm.
Okay. All right. You know what? Yeah, I'll let you do leadership
on that.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and make me a leadership roll.
Uh-oh. It's 60 out of 70.
Okay, all right,
So
that's
just
fine.
one level of success.
One level of success.
Okay.
Your man at
All right.
arms, who's used to taking your orders, kind of, and then begins to take a few steps forward. The pilgrims, the feeble peasants that they are, just kind of are just slack-jawed, looking up at this horrifying sight. Sir Tristan, if you glance over, begins to shift his shield backwards and begins to stand, and he looks puzzled. He looks kind of shocked at what's happening. Are you moving downwards, Braggadine?
How far is Marius from you?
He is going to
The
be...
prone unconscious Marius.
I believe we had him 20 feet from the top of the altar.
Okay.
When the steps are within 10 feet, and then you have to do kind of like a weird turn because there's no steps straight up from where he is. But regardless,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you go to make it to the side steps, and you hear something, Braggadine. You hear, not only is it rumbling loud enough to where the stalactites on the ceiling begin to break loose and begin to fall throughout this cavern as the ground begins to shake itself as well. And a screeching voice pierces into your very mind. Release me, mortal. And I need you to make me a cool test, Braggadine.
All right. Okay. Do I get any... Because I still have that... I drank that potion last time. But let me see. Oh, it's a 4 out of 69.
Yes.
So-
this is not for
Okay.
fear. You are not. You are devoid of fear right now, which is one
Okay.
reason why you have such a spine in this very moment. But regardless, you feel an unnatural pull at your very body itself, and you shrug it off. It was very uncomfortable. Go ahead and give me an intuition test,
I don't know what that
Braggadine.
was. I think we're going to be doing... 54 out of 61.
Okay, Braggadine, you're about to take a few steps downwards as you're kind of clutching at your head. You see several of the three remaining pilgrims are also kind of clutching at their head. You glance back over your shoulder, Braggadine, and you see Sir Tristan doing the same, and you see your man at arms has dropped his halberd. And he's walking towards Sir Tristan. Are you continuing on towards Marius Wolf?
So the man in arms is okay. I cannot count on these peasants. I must do this myself. Free action, put my sword.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. And grab the shield?
Are you going to go back up to the altar?
Yeah.
You're kind of off to the side. You begin to you sheathe your sword and you turn back. And I'm going to give you a chance to do something,
Okay.
Braggadine. First off, we're going to switch away from you for a moment. Marius, I need you to roll me a D100.
All right. Uh, 58.
Okay, Marius. You're unconscious. I do believe, were you bleeding?
Yes.
Did you staunch the bleeding, though?
I got bit. I didn't use a resolve because we didn't get back around to.
That's right. You can use one now to stop bleeding, so you don't have to make any death rolls. But
I'll do that.
Yeah, but with that 58, because I was rolling for something back here. Let's roll on the critical wound table. Let's see here.
Oh boy, let's do it. Do I need to roll again? Where's that?
I'm rolling. Don't worry, I got you, bro.
Okay,
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Oh, I can't wait, yo.
I know. I can't either. This is bad too. I'm not gonna lie. I rolled pretty bad on this.
Oh god. Damn.
You don't have any critical wounds right now, though, right?
I don't.
Okay. All right, Marius. Though you were unconscious, you know what? We'll cover it once you regain consciousness. Let's just say something happens to you while you're limp. Leave it at that. Leave you in suspense. But for now, Bragadine, as you begin moving back towards Emma, I give you a chance, Bragadine, as you see your man-at-arms. Instead of moving towards Lady Emma, he pivots quickly on his right and begins to reach downward. You see two things, Bragadine. There is the body of the elder vampire with the stake in his back, and you see a book that is currently closed, bound in black, some kind of leather. Looks eerily similar to the one that Marius carries, some foul contraption. This one, however, has a bone spine. This was the book that Gaston was reading from. And it looks like he's reaching towards one of these two things.
Sir Tristan, stop him!
All right. Go ahead and... Oof, man, what should I roll for this? Go ahead and roll me another leadership. You're good at it anyway.
We got 24 out of 70.
Okay. Sir Tristan quickly pivots around and sees the men-at-arms, and then you see him reaching for the stake in the vampire, and he grabs a hold of this piece of wood. Looks like he's about to pull it free. And as he does, Sir Tristan's hand clamps down on the man's arm. However, Bragadine, I need you to make me a cool test at -30.
Oh, shit. Ooh, we're going to use the fortune point. I still think that's going to be a big bad failure. Oh! Alright, so I got a cool of 69 with a -30. I rolled a 75.
Yep, got it, Bragadine.
Yeah, I failed it.
Bragadine, is you see this unfolding, and you hear another scream, and some more stalactites begin to fall in the background. Hope Marius Wolf is still there by the end of this. Regardless, though, you as you're glancing at this, you feel this another reverberation, "Release me!" just echoing, and it burns in your skull. And then you just kind of black out for a second, Bragadine. And I'm going to let you make me one more cool test at -30.
Okay. And I rolled a 17, so that would be... Alright, so I had to get 69, so 39, and I got 17, 2 levels of success.
Okay, Bragadine. You manage to open your eyes, and as you do, you have your sword drawn, and the point is about to split open Emma's throat.
Emma!
You quickly regain your faculties as you are about to behead your own sister. You glance downwards, Bragadine, and the book is open, and the pages are fluttering back and forth upon their own.
Is it on the ground, or is
it's on the ground?
Like basically on the altar next to it?
It's just on the ground, moving on its own accord, and it looks like Sir Tristan is now, he has completely restrained your men-at-arms, and he has beaten almost to death several of the pilgrims. You've been unconscious for quite some time.
I try to, man, I knew this was going to be a rough session. I put my sword up again. I pick up the shield, or move the shield slightly to the side, and I try to, one-handed, put Emma over my my shoulder with my broken arm.
Mm-hmm. She is shackled to this altar.
No.
With like steel, like steel shackles, and chain.
I will need Mary's help with this.
You do notice, Bragadine, I will say, you've spent enough time up here at this point. It looks like there's a clasp on these shackles. There's probably something that opens them. Looks like there's a keyhole, in fact.
A keyhole. All right. Is the corpse of Gaston still up here?
Oh, yes. It is very much still up here. Right. Marius's axe is still embedded in its skull.
Oh, nice. I go over and I hastily tried to search his pockets and his robe for a key.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a intuition test.
Okay, 49 out of 61.
All right. You begin searching the corpse of your former servant, being rifling through, and he's wearing this disgusting robe that's like made of stitched human skin, and it's horrible to do so. And you only have one hand to begin with, so it takes you a few moments. But as you dig into one of these pouches, it looks like the pouch is made out of someone's face. You put your hand through its mouth, and that's the pocket. And sure enough, you pull free a small key.
I yoinks that thing up, and please, my lady, and I turn back around and try it in the shackles.
Okay. You try it at her feet first. Stick the key inside. Turn it. The shackle opens.
I then attempt to, as swiftly as possible, to get the other shackle, her other foot, and then move up to the top of the altar, or the other side of the altar, and try and...
Yes. You begin to thoroughly unshackle her, starting with the feet, then you move up to her hands, unshackle them. And as you unshackle her hands, they fall limply to the side as they were crossed, and the shield is just resting across her chest, and you can see it's coated in the blood of these men. And there are the runic carvings that you've seen on it. So you've seen it several times throughout your lifetime. This is a family heirloom. And you see some of them are glowing a dull red. Not all of them, but some of them.
I move it to the side. I don't push it down. I just move it to the side to see if I can, again, shoulder her up over my bad arm.
You touch the
And
shield.
then I do touch the shield.
Okay.
Yeah.
You touch it.
I grasp it. I grasp it with my good hand and just kind of pull it aside so I can
Yeah.
get her over my shoulder.
Yeah. You touch it. Your hand melts off. No, it doesn't. I'm just messing with you. You touch the shield and you pull it away easily enough. It's surprisingly lighter than you've never actually held it yourself, but it's surprisingly light as you pull it to the side.
Father would never let me touch it.
Of course he wouldn't. I mean, he told you if you touched it too much, you'd go blind. But regardless, you take Emma,
My palms are so hairy from it.
shoulder her as well as you can. And
I then
go ahead.
We will not. I will not let this disgrace continue in my house. And I use my other arm and try and just give a good wipe with my fancy puffy shirt. I'll try and wipe some of the blood off, just so maybe you can see our standard a little bit better. And I try to pick up the shield as if I was to wield it.
Okay, so how are you going to hold Emma and the shield with one arm?
That's why I wanted to see if I can get Emma over. Basically, like Emma would be. I'm thinking like if you have a sack of potatoes.
Okay, all right. No, I get what you're saying. I just needed you to explain it to me how you were going to do it.
Yeah.
This is going to require a feat of strength.
Oh, of course.
So I will need you to make me a strength roll.
Oh, beloved lady, you have blessed us so far. Please continue with your blessings. And she has, by giving us a 7 out of 15.
Nice. Okay. So in this moment, Braggadine, first off, you feel good. Surprisingly good for what has just transpired. Despite all of this death and destruction, you've recovered your sister. And in this moment, the adrenaline is still pumping. You get her over your shoulder and you barely feel her. She's light as it is. And you have enough strength in you to kind of hold her there and then still reach down and grab a hold of the shield. And while you're holding onto it, it feels nice. It feels really nice. And closing your fist around the grip, you manage to pull your arm up and keep her steady so you're not going to lose her in any maneuvering you might need to do. But it is awkward with one arm still. You are a little off balance. And Sir Tristan looks over at you. Very good. We must leave. This place is falling to pieces. By the lady's will, this creature
Knight.
has seen its last. And you see him unsheath his sword one last time. And he cleaves the head off of the elder vampire. And as he does, the thing screams as if it was still alive despite that weapon being lodged in its back. And as it does, you hear the rumble out in the darkness, and it loud, beyond louder than you've heard this entire time. And it looks like the ceiling is crumbling. What are you doing, Braggadine?
I am not at full speed because I've got she's a little lady, but a person on my shoulder.
Okay.
But I'm trying to get off the altar and
all right.
You begin head down.
You begin moving. Go ahead and give me an athletics test, Braggadine.
Oh. Good thing I have one more fortune point. I'll need it on this one. Oh! Okay, last fortune point. Praise the lady. It was a 95 was the first roll. Second roll is a 19, and I needed a 33.
Okay.
So,
all right.
One level of success. Okay.
One level of success. You manage to keep your footing. The very ground itself is rumbling and beginning to crack. Sir Tristan quickly pulls up beside you and begins to steady the lady on your shoulder. He motions back, and it appears your man-at-arms is no longer affected by whatever was plaguing him. And he shakily rises to his feet and then stumbles over to you and helps you with the lady. Sir Tristan pulls on ahead of you, spying Marius, and moves to his form. He reaches down and grabs a hold of Marius Wolf. And as he does, Marius, you feel a spark in your chest. And you begin to rouse from consciousness. You have one wound, Marius.
All right.
And you're looking into the eyes of Sir Tristan de Vries, those shining, glimmering, golden orbs. He looks extremely worried, and you see him glancing down upon you. And Marius, you glance downwards, and you see there's a massive piece of stone that is embedded in your guts, where a stalactite fell from the ceiling while you were unconscious. And you go to move, Marius. You go to move, and you're pinned to the ground by this piece of stone.
Where is it on my body?
It's in your gut. It's in like your right, almost touching your right hip. It's it's about
lucky. It's not fatal.
It's not fatal. However, you have suffered the equivalent of a torn muscle in your back.
Ooh. Okay.
It's bad. Let's just put it like that. It's real bad.
Okay.
For the next 30 days,
okay.
With it being a back injury.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe you're not going to be able to walk.
All right. Well,
so
it's gonna be interesting.
So yes. So he looks extremely worried, and he grabs a hold and pulls it free, Marius. And as he does, you begin to bleed, and you're and he like puts his hand over it and clamps it shut, and he picks you up and just throws you over his shoulder. At this point, Bragadine, you have made it past them, past the two of them. Are you just making a beeline for the exit?
I'm actually going to stop right as I pass them, and I say, Marius, here, in my purse here on my side, I have a potion. Can you reach it? I cannot hand it to you. Can you reach it?
Can I reach it?
Go ahead and give me a dex check. We'll see. Let's make it old sleight of hand if you got it.
Sleight of hand? Let's see here.
If you got it. If not, just dexterity.
Dexterity. Okay. I think I just got dexterity. Yep. That's a fail.
Big fail.
I'll reroll it.
Oh, come on.
I've got these fortune points. Might as well use them. I rolled a 21 out of 37.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Marius, you kind of reach out feebly and reach into Bragadine's purse, literally.
Kind of push my hip up.
There's an assortment of gold coins that your hand passes over. And then you grab a hold of the bottle that he was talking about. Or not exactly bottle, it was a vial, I believe. You pull it free, and it is the potion.
I'll throw it back if I can.
All right. As you are, with your dexterity check, I'll say you can manage to do that. You're not in a very good position, rocking back and forth. And Sir Tristan's moving at considerable speed. It's at this point, within a few moments. Go ahead.
As I'm jostling and looking behind Sir Tristan, moving back and forth, looking at the cavern falling around us. Just kind of sit there, take it all in,
Yes, indeed. And it is a sight to behold.
This is new. This is new. Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm usually. This is what it's like.
It's so strange to look at you being carried as opposed to me. In fact, I'm becoming like you, Marius. Oh.
Wow. Indeed you
You're
are.
feeling better. That was the last healing potion we had.
It's at this point you are beginning to stumble across and you see the unconscious, mangled body of Seamus McCready. You are moving at speed. What would you guys like to do? Let's put it like that.
I'd probably just cry out, Seamus, get him!
You, my remaining man-at-arms, you.
Yes.
Our other companion. Fetch him.
Yes,
I will not leave him here.
Yes, my lord. And he reaches down. Let me see what he's got. He goes to pick up Seamus, and Seamus is wearing, like, heavy armor, and he has an assortment of weapons all over his person. He's heavy as hell. He goes to lift him, and he can't pick him all the way up. He manages to sit him up. Let me roll for... Okay. 2 of the remaining 3 peasants, the Grail Pilgrims, come up and aid him, and they manage to grab a hold of him, and it takes 3 people to carry Seamus McCready, where usually it only takes 1 Marius Wolf. And they begin to run out as fast as they can. You begin, all of you, at this point, begin to hit the stairs. Bragadine, you're the first one with Emma. Since she is the lightest, you're moving the quickest. You hit the stairs first and begin to ascend, and the masonry is beginning to crumble. But after a few moments up the stairs, you realize that most of the damage that is befalling this place is centered down in this cavern. It appears that the walls up here are steady for now. You make it to the top, to the hidden door that's wide open. And everything is quiet and still. What would you guys like to do?
I'm sure Bragadine stops for just a moment to catch his breath. Sir Tristan.
Yes, Lord Bernard.
We must leave, but I fear that those undead beasts will still be outside.
Yes, they no doubt will. Perhaps there's another way out.
And I do my best to just look around as I'm trying to turn around. I'm just imagining Bragadine with the shield in one hand, a person on his shoulder trying to look around.
Yeah, and it's not easy. And if you'll remember, it's not very well lit up here in these kind of tight hallways. To your left is where you came from. You know that the entrance is further that way. You don't know what's to your right, but there are the piled bodies that Marius had toppled over with the aid of some of the Grail Pilgrims, the numerous zombies and skeletons that were slain before you managed to get here. And those are your current options, Bragadine.
I think we should try and find another way. I do not want to try and fight the dozens of monsters out there. Not carrying Sweet Emma.
Yes, that seems...
I'll speak to one of the pilgrims real quick.
Yes.
Set them for a second and see if there's something you could light the torch with. Quickly.
Yes, my lord. And he begins walking down the hall, and he just grabs one of the logs or sticks, really, that was in the brazier, and kind of pulls it free. And he has the equivalent of a torch. It looks like it's not going to last very long, but he has something, and he quickly comes padding back.
You follow closely behind me. I've always Your cowardice has already disappointed me. But follow me. I will lead. And
Okay.
go the other way.
All right, you begin. You have to. It's awkward to step over some of the bodies. Marius, you did regain your toughness bonus and wounds from that potion.
All right.
And we are continuing forward. You are walking down this narrow corridor for at least 20, 30 minutes, Bragadine, with you leading the way. Sir Tristan is paddling along behind you. Some of the other men in the party, they seem like they're getting tired. You're all carrying heavy weights.
You men back there. Do you see this blessed knight? I do not see him struggling under this weight. If you wish to do him proud and do him honor, you will persevere as well.
Go ahead and give me a charm roll,
Leadership check
Bragadine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah, 22.
Okay, critical
70.
success. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
With the critical success, and you're speaking in. I'm assuming you're speaking in Bretonnian. And
Oh, yes, with the authority of a noble.
yes, and all of the men, with the exception of Sir Tristan, who is not even breaking a sweat hardly. There is like grime and blood spattered across him. None of it his own, of course. But the rest of them are starting to look haggard. And through your speech, you managed to breathe a little life, and they managed to pep up a little bit. And the next half hour goes by relatively easily, Bragadine. So you spend an hour walking in these barrows, much longer than it took you from the entrance. And judging from the outside, Bragadine, you feel like you should have, at this point, reached the end. You should have reached the back at this point, walking for this long, and you haven't. Go ahead and give me an intuition test, or an intelligence test, whichever you want to give.
Ooh, intuition.
Okay.
Definitely not doing any intel check on him. 47 out of 61.
Okay, Bragadine. You can intuit that there's a slight grade to this tunnel that you have been walking in. It's split off a couple times, but you could see that they didn't go very far, so there's no point in taking the corridors. Everything's very empty and quiet. But there's been a slight elevated grade, as if you're walking upwards. It's been very subtle,
Marius.
but it's starting to get steeper and steeper.
Marius, I think we might be. Every step gets a little harder. I think we might be heading up. I know you are so much better in the tunnels than me. Do you think we are? Can you help us out there? Marius.
Can you, Marius?
I don't know. If I'm facing the opposite way,
yeah, no.
I guess I'm seeing things at the.
You have a great view of
Yeah.
Sir Tristan's ass. It's those
Exactly.
glutes are working. They're working hard.
Fine glutes.
Fine indeed.
I mean, I do have a ton of experience with
You do.
tunnels and such, but I don't know if this is technically a tunnel, more of a thing
It's
structure.
kind of. It's very rough, if anything. However, you being as experienced as you are, go ahead and give me geology roll. Let's get that. Let's put that skill to
Geology?
use. Yeah,
All right, let's do it.
let's do it.
All right, here we go. That is a 18 out of 37.
Of course it is, because Marius Wolf never rolls high. It's always low.
I rolled a 58 earlier, so,
So,
and apparently I can't walk anymore.
all right.
I want to hear this shit from you.
So Marius, judging from judging from what Bragadine has brought to your attention, you can tell that yes, This tunnel is definitely rising, and you, for sure, Marius, judging from the outside of this barrow that you were in, you definitely know that you should have been out of it by now. And judging from the angle and what you think, where you might be present, you don't think you're in the barrow anymore. You think this tunnel is going somewhere else.
We've been moving too long, Raggedy, and I don't think we are in the same structure that we were earlier. It wasn't that big of a structure. We're somewhere else.
Well, that is good then. If we are somewhere else, we will not come out where those ghouls are.
Perhaps
Let's just continue
I
on.
don't know how far we traveled.
It's a rest, my friend. It is. We are in my country. I will take care of you. You rest there. And sure, we will take.
Yes, I feel I've been well taken care of this entire trip, and I feel all the hospitality that Great Bretonia has to offer, and I secretly say under my breath, "More, take me now."
Exactly. And Bragadine hears you.
And
Because he has
Bragadine,
heightened
not
senses
understanding
of
the
hearing.
says, Good.
You begin pressing forward.
Don't know
once
why
again.
you would ask for more, though. Yes.
You, after another 10-15 minutes, you start to see a light ahead, Bragadine. Looks like perhaps moonlight. You
Look,
begin
Sir
to
Tristan. Look.
I see it, Lord Bonneau. We're almost free. Be on your guard.
Yes, blessed knight. You men back there, be ready. I think we have found an exit, but beware.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. And you begin moving forward again, Bragadine. And you reach the edge, the end of this long tunnel. And something smells god-awful coming from the entrance, or the exit. You timidly...
Something smells terrible.
Yes, it's bad. It stinks of death and decay.
It smells like death, Bragadine.
It does. I hope it does not mean that we are walking into more of those undead creatures, but it does. That's exactly what I fear it must be. Sir Tristan.
How are you approaching this, Bragadine? That's what I want to know.
All right, so I'm picturing it's maybe it's roughly like 1.5 meters. I'm 5 feet wide.
Yes.
Just a tunnel, kind of. It's pretty straight.
It's been straight. It's been at an incline. It's starting to get more and more of an incline. Okay. At this point, you're looking at a pretty steep incline, actually. And you would have noticed, especially in the moonlight, that the ground is damp in certain places. Even more so than like the weird mud that is stuck to everybody at this point.
Is it like
go ahead.
Like a bog or like marshland?
It's hard to tell. It just seems there are streaks of extreme dampness. There's parts of this that look like just muck.
We're not sinking in, though, are we?
You're not sinking, no.
Okay. I said, forgive me, sister, and I kind of get up against the wall and push her so she's a little bit more secure on my shoulder. And I turn at a slight angle so that she would be protected by my body and the shield in front of me. And I've kind of got it down about covering like the lower half of my face a little bit. Okay. Just so I can hear. And I'm walking slow now. I'm
All right.
carefully. If the what appears to be exit, I'm walking slow, and I want to do a perception check with my hearing to see if I hear anything that causes alarm.
Well, first off, give me a stealth check at -10.
Okay.
Because you're holding a
All right,
unconscious woman.
All right. Okay. I'm glad it took a little bit of stealth. Didn't really do me any good. So we got a 42 out of 35. So I believe I'm very stealthy here.
Got it. And you're not going to need a perception test, Bracketing. So you begin to creep as best as you can. And there's no point in Marius Wolf making a stealth check because he is not in control of his faculties right now. Sir Tristan begins to kind of creep, mimicking your movements, Bracketing behind you. And right as you get to the edge, you peek your head out. Just peek your eyes up over your shield and look. And you see nothing but guts and offal everywhere around you. There is thick blood and the smell of decaying flesh, and there are corpses and skeletons everywhere.
Are they moving?
They are not moving, but they are in various states of dismemberment.
Okay. Like perhaps battle.
Pretty horribly dismembered. Extremely dismembered. You glance around some more, and you are up. You're high. You're very high. You're probably in one of the neighboring hills that were looking over the Barrows themselves. And you look up, and you can see the full moon. You're up above the fog.
I warily step out, and I'm glancing around, looking around.
Yeah, and it's more like a step up, because that's how steep of the incline has gotten at this point, and you kind of step up and out. And as you do, you step directly on a large femur bone that snaps. And as it does, Bracketing, you hear a grumbling noise. You warily look over your shoulder. Let me roll real quick. You see a enormous creature that is laying down amidst a pile of bodies. Its flesh is eerily familiar, and it has bat-like wings. A large red crest from the top of its head down its spine. It's facing away from you, and it appears to be sleeping. This is the Vargheist that carried Seamus away, and this must be its den.
I kind of motion with my head as much as possible in a direction while looking at Sir Tristan.
And he easily sees it. And as he does, he begins to place Marius Wolf on the ground. And he unsheaths his sword. What are you doing, Bracketing?
I go over and I, as gently as possible, Marius, you must protect her for me. And I let Emma down next to him.
Yes.
I just plop her next to me.
No, not plop. I mean, I'm just.
Yeah, you let her down.
She's still unconscious, right?
Oh yeah, she's unconscious. She is breathing, however, it's very, very light.
Question about my movement abilities.
Yes.
You said my legs don't work anymore, I guess. Lieutenant Dan?
Let me hold on one second.
No.
Let me confirm.
Ah, my legs!
Oh Lord.
Damn it, Forrest.
Hold on. Okay, you know what? Your legs do work.
My legs, I feel them.
They work. You're at half speed if you're going to walk,
Okay.
and you have a -20 to all tests. All tests.
Ooh. All right. Makes sense, I guess.
And I forgot about your exhaustion from bleeding and being unconscious. So technically, you're at 4 levels of exhaustion, right? Or 2 levels of exhaustion.
4 levels? Ooh, fuck.
So you're 2 levels of exhaustion, and you have a -20 to all tests.
Well, I'm gonna reach in my pack and sniff some of that white lightning.
Damn right you are. Get your Colombian marching powder out, and you kind of you feel it, kind of it kicks in. Go ahead and give me an endurance test, Marius, at -40 because that's what you're at.
All right. All right. That's a 26 out of. Oh, I'm gonna use a fortune to make it a success. Out of 25, so it was a 26 out of 25.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So you do manage to, and you recover your 2 points of exhaustion immediately.
Ooh, yeah, needed that.
You still have a -20 though to all tests.
Hey, better than -40. You know,
It's true. It's true.
Hey, yeah,
Yes.
take what I can get.
You kind of, and you begin to actually sit up. Apparently, your rest with Sir Tristan carrying you did you some good. You kind of, you're groggy and your back hurts really, really bad. And there's a hole in your stomach still that is not bleeding anymore, but a lesser man would be crippled.
All right.
You glanced.
I'll just
go ahead.
I'll just kind of be standing next to Emma. I guess then, if I'm protecting her.
All right. You kind of stand next to Emma, and are you doing anything else, Bragadine, in this moment?
Marius, I'm whispering to him. Do you think you could use one of Seamus's coward weapons? I've seen the destruction. I will not touch them, but I've seen the destruction he can do with them.
Fortunately, I don't feel like I'm very good at shooting things. That's something I'm going to talent at. Best leave that kind of accuracy to Seamus. I hit things hard.
You were hobbled over like an old woman still.
Yes.
Do you think? I fear Sir Tristan may need some assistance. He is going to battle that beast.
You said you were like me. Surely you can assist him.
Yes, I must.
Good luck. Good luck, then. I slap him on the back and I kind of give him a little push.
Yeah, give him a little push.
There you go.
I stop and Marius,
You don't need me.
Trust the life of my precious sister and my family's emblem, and hand him the shield.
You hand him the shield.
Sword.
Okay.
I think you'll need the shield. I don't need it. You know.
Oh, you're probably right. I will.
Yes.
I don't know how I will do.
Keep the shield. Put it on your back. Do something. I don't think that's something that I should. Like you said, it's too important. Too important.
Now, you're always right about these things. And
maybe your sword falls and you need your shield.
There's no way I can carry both because I got a broken arm.
You can.
So
you
my
can-
sword's still in my.
I will say there is a leather strap attached to the shield,
Okay.
so you could sling it across your back if you needed to.
Oh, that's a good idea. It will protect me if it tries to crush me. Mary, please assist me so I can get it on my back.
I'm like a feeble old woman. I don't know if I can.
I slap him.
You slap me.
Just real quick, just like real light. Just, I am tired of your games. This is a life or death matter. Please help me.
I take my hands and I put it around his throat, and I exert
Squeeze
pressure.
real hard and pop his head like a pimple.
I'll help him.
Okay. All right. He kind of puts. It only takes a second. It's not hard. You just kind of basically just hold the strap so it can rest across his back. Bragadine, you notice now that the Grail Pilgrims look terrified. The three of them, and your man-at-arms is also looking scared. And it's at this point you realize that he doesn't have his halberd. It is probably buried underneath some rubble down in the cavern. He has nothing. He's just standing there, and he has nothing. He has no weapon. Yeah. So what are you doing right now, Bragadine?
You men, you... Quickly, look around. So it's just like corpses. It's not a battle where I could see like armor and stuff like that and have them like say, try and go grab that rusted sword.
This is its feeding pit, and apparently where it likes to sleep.
Perfect.
So you could, you know what?
You men can stay. Right? Listen.
At this point, Sir Tristan has walked. He's not even moving silently. He's walking towards the creature with his sword unsheathed, and he brings it to his lips, kisses the hilt, mutters a prayer that probably Bragadine's familiar with, and lunges and plunges it deep in the creature's spine. And it screeches out. And as it screeches out, you don't need to make a cool test because you're immune to fear. Marius Wolf needs to make a cool test, though.
At minus 20.
At minus 20.
I rolled another 26.
Okay.
Out of something.
That's pretty good.
45.
Yeah, I thought your cool's not bad. So you managed to, and while your heart quickens just at the excitement that's about to happen, you do keep your resolve. However, you see the blood drain out of the Grail Pilgrims' faces, Marius, and while the man-at-arms keeps his resolve, he has no weapon. And I need everyone to roll me initiative.
All right. Oh, I was about to give a little speech to them, too. All right.
So Bragadine.
12.
All right. And Marius.
Sorry. That is 14.
Okay.
Question. This is
Yes.
a Vargheist, right?
Yes, this is a Vargheist.
Okay.
This is the same Vargheist that snatched Seamus and fled off with him twice. Too bad he's not here to fight it.
Well, he's here. Just not.
He's here.
You know,
he's just unconscious. Yes.
Yeah. He's over there next to Emma.
Right. Let me make sure I got all this written down. Okay. All right. It is Sir Tristan's turn, ironically. Oh, Lord. What?
You built them, bro. Yeah.
I know. So Tristan starts.
You rolled a one for
So
him.
Tristan
Yeah.
pulls his sword free, having already dealt a pretty significant wound to the creature, and then begins slashing. He cuts 2 deep furrows into its chest, and it just screams out. And you see his eyes are glowing even brighter than normal in this moment, almost like a beacon of the Holy Lady herself. And the second strike plunges in deep into its chest. There's just a bloody torrent goes spilling out, and its chest is a bloody ruin. Granted, this creature is about 12 to 13 feet tall, and as it opens up its arms, its wingspan is at least that and then some, probably 16, 17 foot wingspan here. And it screeches once again, and it is going to try to kill the thing attacking it. So, let me see. Let me add up all that damage. Significant damage, I might add. Ooh. Okay. You watch as it grabs a hold with its strange-looking forepaw that's on its wing. It reaches down and grabs a hold of Tristan DeVries right across the chest and squeezes, and you see some of his armor begin to crunch in, and he cries out. And then he just gets thrown off into the distance like a softball. And it's at this point that you guys notice that you guys are literally up on like a cliff somewhere, and Tristan just goes off the side. He just,
Oh no.
he just goes. You hear him, ah! And that's, yep.
There goes my ride.
There goes your ride. There goes your ride.
Damn it.
That brings us to Marius Wolf. It's your turn.
So we're in this kind of nest area, I guess.
Yeah, and it's just there's just disgusting mangled corpses everywhere. Some of them animal, some of them human, some of them probably some of the crypt ghouls that you saw below. It's not too picky with what it eats, obviously.
How far away from it am I to it?
You are within, I will say you're within the 20 foot that you would
Okay,
need
20
to
feet.
close the distance. It is eerily close to everyone right now.
The hovel over there.
Yeah. If you'd like to.
Sure, why not? You know.
Sure, why not? Why not? Why not? Go ahead. You kind of stumble over there. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Well, I'd actually, DM allows.
Yes.
I would like to use my resilience, a resilience point to hit it.
Oh shit. Okay. All right.
If DM allows. You
That's a
don't want
one.
me to,
That's
yeah.
fine. Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Oh Jesus. What's your maximum damage you can do?
Well, let me.
It's gonna be
I had to do
crazy.
some math because I got a minus 20 from my strength and attack.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you do.
Let me see. So basically, I can. Seven. 18. No. 18 plus armor piercing. Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's, yeah. That's the minus 40 basically
All right.
from the weapon strike and the
And the
strength
roll.
modifier.
Okay. 18. Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Okay. That is a 41.
41. Okay, Marius. You bring the pick overhead, and I'm assuming you're aiming for its face. Good old,
whatever I can.
yeah,
Most
good
likely,
old fashioned
yes.
headshot
Yeah.
as it lunges down. It looks like it's going to try to take a bite out of you as its jaw unnaturally hinges, almost like a snake, and it looks like it's going to bite you in half. And you swing the pick down, and as you do, you catch its left ear, and you rip the thing clean off of its head. Rips it straight off. The pick plunges through. And this ear is like the size of your head as it pulls free, and just some blood spatters across you, and it screeches back, stumbling away. It looks severely hurt, but still standing. Would you like to do anything else, Marius?
Look, I'll just kind of like look back towards everyone else and yell out, "We've got it on the ropes! Finish it!"
And that brings us to Bragadine Beno. What are you doing, Sir Beno?
Alright, so this thing's been all slashed up in the chest. Marius just chopped its ear off.
He did.
It looks rough. Sir Tristan has been picked up and
Thrown into
away.
where you don't know.
I've
He
got-
just went off the side.
Some terrified grill pilgrim. Do the grill pilgrims have any weapons on them?
They have like clubs, and some of them have shields, and one of them actually has has an actual sword. It looks rusty and barely put together.
Free action.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be, ready yourself, men. Grab a rock or a club. And then I shout, for the king of Bretonia. And I charge and I try to make a savage strike on it.
Okay, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Alright. Plus 10 for charging?
Yeah, I'll give you the plus
it too
10.
close?
Why not?
Okay. So we're just going to have a negative 10 on the attack. Alright, cool. Oh, sweet. I rolled 18 out of 47.
Okay, how much damage is that, Bragadine? As you dodge
Okay, so
underneath
that would be-
and you clip, I believe an 18's the head. Nope, you clip into its left arm.
1, 2, plus 4, so 6, plus 5, so 11.
Okay. 6. All right. You carve into its left kind of like wing, and you carve into the actual wing itself, and you see like the membranes part between the Bretonian steel at your side, and it flinches away again, still standing but ragged and bleeding everywhere. It is actively bleeding from the wound Marius inflicted on it. Would you like to do anything else, Bragadine?
I don't have any more actions, really.
Okay. Well,
I
in
guess
that
I'm
case,
just
you're
going to
engaged unless you
ready
want
myself with the men down there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Your man-at-arms picks up a rock nearby
I
off
wanted
the
him to
mountain.
do, actually.
Off the mountain, and he you hear him, ugh! And you see this rock fly over the top of the Vargheist head, just into nothingness, just way over the top, just. Whew. And the thing looks at him, it screeches again. And let's see here. Okay. And it's the Vargheist turn. And there are two little things in front of it. Marius, it's going to try to bite you in half now. So I need you to defend yourself.
All right. Let me see here. So that'd be -4. It's large, right? Large creature.
It is large. So it's a -20 to blocking.
Mm-hmm. Plus my -20.
Yeah, plus your -20.
Uh,
Unless you want to dodge. Then it's just a -20
I
for your
think I'm
dodge.
probably gonna dodge. Yes. I think I'm trying to do the math. I think that's better for me. Actually, no, it's better for me to use my pick. Do I get one success for the...
Yes, you get a success for that.
Okay. I'm going to need it. That was a... Oh, I'm going to have to reroll. I still failed. Final fortune. It still failed. Oh, that's a lot better. That's an 8 out of 30.
Ooh, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 levels
30.
of success. Okay.
Well, no, out of 40 with my success.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, out of 40.
All right, so 3 levels of success. That it makes the difference, Marius, as it swipes out, and you just kind of bring your pick up and kind of catch its foreleg, whatever the hell it's called, as it was attempting to grab you, and you smack it, batter it away, and then it screams at you, and then as it does, it sweeps another claw towards Bragadine. I need you to defend yourself, Bragadine.
Oh.
It's a minus 20 to block because the creature's so big.
Okay.
Dodges.
I do have a point of...
Go ahead.
Dodges. Even with all these negative dodges, just not my thing on this.
Okay.
He has a point of momentum, too, from a successful attack.
You do, yes.
Okay. Come on. Okay, I rolled a 39 out of 47.
39 out of 47. Bragadine, the creature grabs a hold of you that latches onto you and squeezes for 15 wounds. You can, however, subtract your toughness bonus, but not armor, because it squeezes you.
Okay.
Are you still up, Bragadine?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm hurt.
Yeah.
But I'm.
And it has a grasp on you as it's kind of flailing around, and it is going to attempt to bite into your throat now, Bragadine, as it is gone into a frenzy. A blood frenzy, as it was.
Okay.
You're restrained. So that's a further, I want to say that's a further minus 10? Let me make sure. Hold, please. We don't restrain that often. Defense, surprise. Okay. So these get a little funky on these rolls. Hold on. Fleeing. We'll just say it's a minus 10. A further minus 10 for being held.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I lost my momentum on the last turn there?
You did. You, in fact, lost your momentum.
Okay. Okay. Damn it. Okay, 57. I rolled a 55 over 47.
Oh,
fail.
no.
Yep.
Bragadine. This is bad, Bragadine. The creature bites across. Let me see how bad this is. Okay. Yep. All right. It bites into you. It bites into your chest, actually. And the fangs on this thing are enormous. They're almost like daggers. Bites into your chest, Bragadine. It's going to try to rip a chunk of you free. You take 18 wounds. I'm assuming that drops you past 0.
That does.
Okay.
Drops us.
And and he rips free a chunk of your chest. You take 3 bleeding conditions, and you're going to need surgery to fix this wound. As he's trying to rip into your flesh and eat your heart out, literally.
Okay.
Okay. And Bragadine goes to 0 and goes unconscious as he's in his death throes now. Alright, so let's see what happens with the man-at-arms. Not so much. Not so much. Bragadine, it's technically your turn now. So, do you have any resolve points?
I would like to use 1 resolve, because I only have 1 to remove a bleeding condition.
Okay, you have 2 bleeding conditions, so you gotta roll below 80.
Alright. I rolled a 22.
Okay, with the critical success, I believe we did this before, your bleeding conditions are gone. Somehow, some way, the bleeding
the lady, bro.
stopped. Perhaps it's left over from the potion that you drank earlier this day, but the bleeding begins to move to a trickle, though you are spattered and smeared. You're still unconscious, no longer bleeding, and you will need surgery to patch up this wound in the long run. However, that is it. So that brings us to Marius Wolf. It's your turn, Marius.
Oh boy. So he's still within movement range of me. I can still.
He hasn't moved. He just snatched up Bragadine and was going to eat him like a damn apple. And he still has him in his hand currently. A chunk of Bragadine has been ripped free, and he's gone unconscious, bleeding everywhere.
All right. Well, I'm gonna attack him again. I rolled a 2 out of 70.
God damn it. How do you want to do this, Marius?
Well, I'll hobble up there, and just go to town on his legs. I'm beating those legs.
Beating those legs?
Charlie Murphy style.
Yes, exactly.
Take these pick and just start wailing on his legs, like hacking him down like a tree, And then as soon as he buckles, I'm going for his head with Dringies on, and just do an overhead big smash on him.
Yeah.
And then just like breathe, panting after the hard work.
And it's a horrifying sight. Bragadine spills out of its clutches after you take out one of its legs, and he's just laying limply amid the carnal bodies that have been ripped open almost as savagely as himself now. And you pound into this creature and then crush its head in as it lays low, and it goes still.
As soon as it goes still, I'm gonna grab Bragadine's sword and cut off its head.
Okay, you reach down and grab Bragadine's sword.
Nice.
And with enough time, you can cleave off its head. It's a big head.
I'm gonna motion to the man-at-arms to grab Bragadine. And then just try to cut off this thing's head.
Yeah, the men-at-arms look severely like they're like awestruck out of what just happened, what just took place. But they walk over he quickly moves over to Bragadine and begins looking at his wound. It's at this moment, Marius, that you you're panting and just out of breath, and you're looking around, and you hear something scraping around the edge of this kind of cliffside.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna hand the man at arms. Bragging's not bleeding anymore, is he? Is he bleeding?
He's no longer bleeding, but he's just unconscious and not looking good.
I'm gonna hand him Bragadine's sword.
Thank you, my lord, and he takes it.
I don't understand Tonian.
Yeah, of course not.
So I'll just kind of nod at him, and I'm gonna go hobble over there as quickly as I can to see the scratching.
Okay, you move over to the cliffside, and you glance down, and you see Sir Tristan DeVries hanging on with one hand onto a rock, and he's trying to get his grip on the rest of the mountain. He's lost his shield.
Are the pilgrims still alive?
The pilgrims are still alive. They obviously can't see this, though. They're terrified towards the entrance.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to, motion people over. If they come, they come. If they don't, they don't. Can I reach down and grab him? Is he that close enough to grab?
He is close. Yes, I will say thematically, yes. He's close enough. You get down on your belly and reach down. Go ahead and give me a strength check, Marius. I hope you don't drop Tristan to his death.
I don't either. I hope I don't. I got a 50-50 chance, I think. I rolled a 24 out of 50.
Damn it.
If I'm minus 20.
Yeah, you're minus 20 still, but still you grab a hold of him, and he grabs up towards your elbow, you grab down towards his, and you pull him up. It strains your back even more. It hurts bad. And you just kind of have to lie there for a moment in pain as you pull him up. He himself is panting at this point. He's like, oh, thank you, Master Marius.
Anytime. Payback for you. Carrying me up this damnable hillside.
Well,
and
I see you made short work of it.
Not quick enough. Bragadine took a previous wound. I need to go tend to him. And I'll kind of slowly get up and try to walk over to Bragadine.
Move over to Bragadine. I'm assuming you're going to try to heal him?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a heal
you're
check.
Correct.
Minus 20.
All right.
Heal check.
Minus 20. Oh, shit. This might be...
please kill Bragadine.
I didn't think about that. It's too late. I already said it. It's not going to be a success. 25 out of 17. It was close.
So, yeah, you move to look at the wound, and it stopped bleeding. Oh. But you don't know what you give him a good slap. Nothing. The dude is unconscious. He's out. Apparently the Barrow family are not made of stern stuff. Him and his sister are both out this entire time.
I do have a healing potion. So
you do? Okay. You want to try it?
I'll give that to him. Yep. It's the only thing I got.
Okay. You reach into your pack, and then you uncork one of your potions and begin pouring it down his gullet. And you receive your toughest bonus and wounds back, Bragadine.
Nice.
You come awake.
Bragadine. This feels right.
You have 2 points of exhaustion, Bragadine. Just so you know.
Okay.
And there's a chunk missing out of your chest right now. A massive gaping hole. Yeah.
The thing's dead, Bragadine. I dirtied up your sword a little.
It is... What? Oh, my God, look at my chest.
Thank you, Marius. It doesn't look good. Would I know it needs surgery? at least?
You've seen, yes, you're experienced enough. You would know that he's going to need some kind of surgical care to fix what has been done to him, and specifically Bragadine. Until you receive surgery, you're at risk for gangrenous infection, which I have lovely tables for all kinds of diseases.
Oh, I
here.
bet you do.
As
I
well,
bet you do.
as well, if you take any wounds to your chest, you will begin bleeding once again. It will open up the wound in your chest. So just so you know.
I'm sorry, Bragadine. I wasn't able to patch you up like I usually try to. You were going to need surgery. There's an infection of some sort, or possibility of infection. That's it.
I will make it, but I don't believe I will be able to carry Emma. Maris, will you?
My back. And
You're the man at arms. I will. I'll carry the lady, my lord.
Oh, you do your house well. I will make sure you and your family are rewarded. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord. And he'll scoop up Emma and kind of carries her, over his shoulder, actually, because he's not exactly the strongest man, but he at least can manage that. So yeah, that is that. What are we doing, boys? I'm assuming we're trying to get down from here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to need a climb check.
Climb check?
Oh. We need a climb check from Marius and from Bragadine, and then I will roll for the rest.
All right.
Oh boy,
Okay.
I'm scared. I'm scared about these peasants. I don't know how good climbers they are. Ooh, I rolled a 55 out of 60.
Okay, good. Marius is killing it.
I got really lucky. I rolled a 6 out of, so with the negative 20, I got a cloud, 52, so that would have been 32. I rolled a 6 out of 32.
Okay. All right. Good. The two of you begin to climb down. Your man-at-arms looks shaky. This isn't like it's not so steep of a climb that you're like hand over foot. You don't go down the cliff side. You go down the other side. And judging from the stars, and essentially Sir Tristan is leading at this point. And you think that you hope he knows where he's going. And none of you plummet and fall to your death, which is nice. And apparently,
It is.
Ironically, none of the peasants do either. I rolled really well for them.
Hell yeah.
Yes. And I'm going to level this out because with Marius's critical success, at some point he ends up reaching out and catching Lady Emma and the man-at-arms from falling off the side of a cliff at some point. But other than that, everything goes relatively smoothly. And you make it down to the bottom of this mountain and begin the long journey back to the Chateau de Benoît. And we're going to take our first break there.